Oh, hello! I didn't see you there. Now, before you confuse me with the Ninja Turtle, let me introduce myself. My name is Frankie, and I'm a musician. And well, you guessed it. This is my instrument. Now, you're probably all remembering these kind of things, right? I mean, how do you even read them? I certainly don't know. But I tell you what, you don't have to know either. If you discovered the awesome world of handpans, then you know that reading sheet music is a thing of the past. Now what I'm about to show you will probably blow your mind, and all the pre-existing thoughts about what a music instrument has to be. Are you ready? And ladies and gentlemen, this is the handpan. A very exquisite and expansive instrument. Now, as you might have guessed, this was a freestyle. I just played whatever. You can, in fact, just play every note you want. And this is where we have our first music theory lesson. Now, it's not even that difficult to understand. Do you remember the white keys on the keyboard? Now, these keys are what's called a scale. It's the C major scale. It has 8 notes and sounds pretty well, whatever you play. Now, there are many different scales. There are major scales and minor scales that sound a bit more sad, and this in particular is a harmonic minor scale. So, it's only these notes from a scale, which means it sounds good together, right? At least to my ear it does. It's definitely a whole sound, where every note makes sense with each other's note. And what makes it incredible as well is that it's basically a drum. Now, let me explain to you why that is. We basically, if we take a real drum, have the same concept. We have the center note, and we have some notes on the end. Or some accents, right? So you can choose whatever rhythm you want. We can play the same rhythm on the handpan. And if you want to be exact, we play it on the bass note, which is the root note of the scale. Now, as you figured, there are more sounds than just the tone fields. And these are percussive sounds. Now we have many variants. You can play whatever is in your mind. You can use your knuckles. And wherever you hit the instrument, it makes a different sound. You can also just use your fingers and slap in between the tone fields. That gives more of a percussive snare drum kind of sound. We also have the kick drum from the drum kit. When you can basically just pound the instrument. I want you to understand one concept, why this instrument sounds so mysterious and full. Now, every note has exactly 3 notes built within. That sounds weird, right? But it's actually kind of easy to understand. We got the root note, then we got the octave, which is the same note but 8 notes higher. And then we have the fifth, which is even 5 notes higher than the octave. So we have the root, the octave, and the fifth. And this is why this instrument sounds so rich, because there are several notes that sound good together in one note. It's basically as if you would play a chord on the piano, right? You play several notes at once, and this makes a rich sound. And if you combine that with actual chords, now that sounds completely beautiful in itself. Actually, you probably wonder how this instrument is made. And let me tell you first how much it costs. It's actually not cheap. It's actually quite expensive. Now this instrument cost me 1,800 euros. And the reason why is because it's handmade. You have these shells, and in these shells you have to build the tone fields in. You have to manually tune them by knocking on it with a hammer. Because even though you can maybe roughly press mechanically these tone fields into the material, you still have to fine tune them. Because it's very, very difficult, as you can probably imagine, to properly tune one of these fields just by a machine. And this is basically all we have. We have a scale that sounds good together. We have a percussive instrument built within the center node. And we have beautiful tones. And if you want to play this instrument, this is all you gotta do. Play this instrument as though you're playing, because you can't really make any mistakes. I mean, you can play good and you can play bad, but it's really just an intuitive thing.